to pick the perfect area of specialization for your travel business backed up with stats, what's trending, what's stable, and what's going to really future-proof your travel business. Let's get into it today. All right, guys, don't forget, take a moment, like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell right here on YouTube. We bring you amazing content every single week to help you grow your travel businesses, and I don't want you to miss a thing. If you're new here, I am Cyndi Williams, travel industry veteran of 30 years and CEO and founder of Wanderlust Campus. We are the training department for the entire travel industry, and I'm so glad that you found us. If you're new here, type a little "I'm new" in comments, and I can't wait to welcome you to our community. Guys, we're talking about such a relevant topic, but I wanted to really back it up with some stats as well. Listen, here's the deal. If you pick a specialization that is overdone or a specialization that's really just doesn't have traction yet, you can kind of be left feeling stuck or not getting the profit that you're expecting from your travel business, versus if you put a little time and thought and energy into really picking a specialization or a niche that is perfect for you as you are getting started, both kind of what you're passionate about, but also what's going to be profitable. If you can marry those two things together, that is a recipe for huge success. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to break it down in two different categories. What is tried and true in the industry and is just kind of those niches and areas of specialization you can always count on being profitable. But then we're going to break it down and talk about what are the emerging trends, because sometimes if you can be a little ahead of the curve and knowing what's going on out in the world, then you really can catch a rising star straight out to outer space and have the profit of your dreams and all the things, right? So we are going to break it down for you today. So the first thing I want to talk about is why niching or having an area of specialization isn't important. Here's the reality. Clients are looking for, they don't want a generalist, right? They want someone who specializes in exactly the thing that they're looking to do. Now, it doesn't mean you can't cross-sell or upsell or let them know you do different things later, but you want to really kind of put your arms around 1 to 3 niches that you really own the space in. And also, take it from me, having been in the industry for 30 years, yes, you can sell the whole world, but it's actually not as profitable as really niching into the things that, one, you're most passionate about, where you're going to be happier, but also really niching in and staying up to date on all the information for those particular niches. It's a lot of information to keep in your head on how the industry is changing, different places, different product, all the things that can happen with the different niches. So it's a lot easier and more pleasurable of a career if you're really just waking up and doing what you love every day and making that really, really profitable. So I know it seems counterintuitive because you're like, why would I turn down a sale for an African safari? Well, if you don't know how to do an African safari, it's going to be a disservice to those clients. You don't know what suppliers to work with. It's going to be like a recipe for disaster if they're your first one, right? So that becomes difficult. And if you haven't done it before and you have no plans to do it in the future, why would you take on that trip when you can just sell 5 more of the other types of trips that you can book pretty much with your eyes closed and kind of rinse and repeat and increase your profit doing something that you love? See how that tracks a little bit for alignment better? I hope it does. But the other thing is, defining a niche really creates a higher level of trust with your clients. You're really able to kind of have that brand authority around the niches that you serve. And it also will lead to more referrals. And referral business is one of the best, because we're always teaching you guys how to have a recurring business model, but those referrals, they close at a higher rate. That's statistically proven. So when you are specializing in these areas, you're going to have more referrals. It's pretty much guaranteed. In fact, there was actually a survey done. Host Agency Reviews did a survey. It said agents who specialize earn up to 80% more than those that are more of like generalists of like, yeah, I'll do anything. I'll take anything that comes my way. So that's a good one. And that survey that they do over there at HAR, they are surveying us in the industry and reporting in on that data. So that's self-reported by the industry at large. And I always love to quote our friends over there as well. All right, next thing I want to talk about is what are the top reliable niches? Let's start with like those tried and true, those long-term successes, all the things. So first, and this wasn't always at the top of the list, but post-COVID, it really is luxury travel. If you love luxury travel, you love working with a luxury client, it is a niche all in its own. And there are so many areas of specialization within luxury. So when I say luxury, I think some people think of luxury as being an all-inclusive that you and I might do. Like, it feels luxury to us, right? But actual luxury, we're talking about like private jets and like, concierge level, club level, and all the things, right? So there's different levels of luxury. Just know that going in, which, by the way, if you don't already have your free Wanderlust Campus account, make sure you guys get that. You can visit us at wanderlust-ceo.com, sign up for a free account, and immediately you'll get any free resources that we have. And the reason I bring that up is we have a mini course on luxury travel coming out very, very soon. So you want to make sure that you're in there when that drops as well. So I'll link that down below for you guys too. But luxury travel is a vibe right now, you guys, and I'm really getting into it. I've been doing actually a ton of research we did for Wanderlust Campus for that course that we built, but also I have been doing more luxury travel, and it's super exciting. Yes, we get opportunities in the industry, so I don't always have to pay the full prices and things like that, but it is a different type of experience. And I have had some luxury travel clients, of course, in my 30 years, and it is just a different type of client. So just know going into that niche, you really have to have that carved out. There's kind of aspirational luxury, actual luxury, and then like old money luxury where we're really getting into different levels. But that niche is tried and true. That is not going anywhere. In fact, that one has really been growing a lot. Another one that's been growing a lot is honeymoons and romance. $30 billion global industry is what that represents stat-wise. So always honeymoons, romance, that's good niche to kind of evolve. And it's a lot of different areas too, if you think about that. So if you get bored with just doing one or two destinations, honeymoon and romance, you can just specialize in that product type in lots of different areas in the world. So different ways that we can kind of customize these areas of specialization for you guys. Family travel. Parents are busy. Okay, if you are a parent, you already know this. I have 3 kids. I have one in college, 2 in high school. So ours are a little bit older. They're self-sufficient. They feed themselves now, and that's a good thing. But parents who are doing family travel, maybe they're going to Universal, they're going to Disney, they're taking a family trip somewhere in the world. They don't have time. They're busy. Not only that, but they really value that quality of having a specialist that knows what they're doing. So you and I might be Disney people. Which, by the way, can we just pause for this Disney moment here real quick? Yes, I'm a Disney adult. I fully have embraced this. I live in Orlando. We literally moved our family to Orlando last year at this time. We live here locally, and we're having our Wander Beyond retreat here in Disney as well. So don't forget about that. If you want to join us in person, we have that happening later here this year. But as a Disney adult and someone who's been selling Disney World for over 30 years, I can book a Disney trip backwards and forwards in like 30 minutes, right? Like, it's not going to take me start to finish because I know all the things. I keep up with all the information, all the stuff. But the average person going to Disney, this is going to be like their 1 or 2, or maybe even they go 3 or 4 times. They don't go enough that they understand the level of insanity of all the things that we have to keep up with how the ride systems work, the best dining, what's new, what's, everything going on with Epic Universe this summer, all the things over at Disney. How do I plan for the different ages that I have? All of that knowledge, if it's inside your brain and you're already naturally a Disney person, you take it for granted that other people should just know this stuff. I promise you they do not. So the fact that you're specializing in it and you can be that brand authority around certain areas really puts you into a nice earning potential. So aren't these ears cute, by the way? These are our little custom ones that we had made a couple years ago when we had our retreat here at Disney. All right. Next up after family travel is group travel. When people have big events, maybe they're doing a wedding or a reunion or a multi-gen or retreats, right? All these types of travel where you book one trip, but then it could be 100 or 200 people that are going. It's kind of a rinse and repeat kind of niche. It requires a high level of detail and really knowing how to do things like RFPs and like negotiating with different locations and product and suppliers and knowing all the things. There's a lot of logistics with group travel, but once you know it, you really put it together one time and then you just resell the seats into it, right? So group travel is amazing. We do have a full training course in Wanderlust Campus on how to sell group travel as well. If you are in need of that, check that out. But group travel is highly profitable. And then cruises. So cruises was one of those weird ones. Like cruises is definitely tried and true because people that cruise, they are like repeat cruise cruisers. Like, oh, I got to do the new ship. I got to do this one. And they just love to cruise. If you have some of these clients, put a comment down below. Like, the cruisers can be like a lot. And that's one of the reasons why I love working in Florida or living in Florida is we can take the Bright Line down to Miami, Fort Lauderdale. We can hop out of Port Canaveral. We got Tampa. So many spots where I can jump on a cruise in a second. I do love a good cruise. If you guys follow along on Instagram, you've seen all of the things happening. If you want to see all of our travels, you can see them over there as well. But cruises are one of the easiest things to kind of learn and sell and product wise based on the types of clients that you're serving. So these are the tried and true, right? So, and also CLIA is projecting 35 million passengers are going to travel in 2025, which is up from 31.7 million in 2023. So we're seeing growth in that niche as well. And a lot of times these niches come with a higher cost per trip, commission potential, and reliable repeat clients. So keep that in mind. These are kind of your tried and true ones. Now we're going to get into kind of the niches to watch, and I'm definitely keeping my eye on. As an industry expert, I'm a data nerd. I love to learn about what's coming, read all the reports, do all the things. But the emerging niches are kind of around the corner. So what I would say before I share these with you is, if you have a passion to do one of these, that would be a reason to jump on these. And that's anything in travel. Like, you can't dial it in with a travel business. You have to feel a true passion for what you're doing, whether you're picking a tried and true and you're going to marry it with one of these new emerging niches. Make sure you just have a passion to serve the clients that are traveling in that kind of area or destination, and that you're willing to do the learning required for any of these given niches. That's how you do the test for yourself on, is it really right for me? All right. Wellness travel. This is growing like crazy. We've had so many students inside our Careers on Vacation certification program. And that's our one where you work with us for 12 weeks and you'll earn the gold standard of certification in the industry. But a lot of them lately have been working on selecting wellness travel. So we work with them to customize, what does their branding look like? What does their marketing machine look like? How do you put that together? But guys, get this, wellness travel is a $1 trillion global industry by 2025. So by this year, that's from the Global Wellness Institute. So, and again, that's the entire globe, right? But that is what they are reporting or projecting for this year. So wellness travel is growing. I feel this one in my soul because especially in America, we are all stressed out. We work too hard. We work too much. And so taking time to just go, woo, I'm going to disconnect to reconnect. There's a lot of those conversations, a lot of people just flooding into this niche and just really starting to do more self-care and really budgeting that into their annual trips that they take, whether it be a weekend or a week long or a full retreat with girlfriends or their team or corporations even doing wellness retreats. It is emerging. So I think wellness travel is going to be a big one in the future. Adventure and bucket list travel. I love this niche. If you're that travel agent that you love hyper curating, you're not afraid of detail, you really like to build a special itinerary and nothing is cookie cutter in your world. And we're talking about being able to charge higher fees within this niche, and you should be charging higher fees within this niche. So things like Antarctica, safaris, cultural deep dives, doing that whole kind of cultural immersion type trips where you are planning every little detail. You're finding the best local spots to eat. You're finding that stuff that's out of the way. It's not going to Paris and doing the same 10 things that everyone does in Paris. No, it's like maybe I'm touring all through Europe and I'm stopping in these little towns for this little bit of history or the perfect picture moment, or because this particular restaurant has a Michelin star and I want to try it, or I'm going to eat in a vineyard that's outside and have this certain kind of wines and a chef is going to prepare something for us. That kind of really niche-y bucket list or adventure travel, that is emerging as well. We're seeing a lot of that as well. LGBTQ plus our friends travel, right? This is valued at $218 billion globally. So, and again, we have a ton at Wanderlust campus that are within this niche. So you can find a family within a family over at Wanderlust campus, which is great. But LGBTQ plus is definitely on the roadmap for seeing a lot of growth. And I think as the world changes and travel gets, we're seeing a lot of restrictions and things with travel these days, you can feel uncomfortable traveling. And so knowing where to go, where's safe, and different things like that become more and more important. So if you can specialize and become an expert in these areas, that can really serve that community really well. So think about that if that is on your heart to do as well. All right, workations and digital nomad experiences. So we're seeing a lot, especially with the millennials and younger, is remote workers seeking traveling while living. So looking for, and they don't want to necessarily do all the research and work of figuring out all the things, but where can I set up shop in another country where I can work from here for a couple of months and work from here for a couple of months and also do vacationing while I'm kind of going through all these places. So workations and also digital nomad experiences, we're seeing that on the rise as well. And last but not least, our little furry friends, we didn't forget you, pet-friendly travel. A lot of people are really wanting to travel with their fur babies. So really understanding how to travel based on what the destinations are, that's growing, especially with millennial pet owners. We're seeing a lot of growth in that as well. So these are the hot kind of niches, but do require a level of expertise. You want to make sure that you're going to have solid training and that partnerships that so you can execute those things well, especially like that hyper curated and different things like that. So definitely think about that if you're selecting that niche. All right, guys. So all the niches that we've talked about today, whether it be a tried and true or one of these, especially one of these new and emerging ones, this is really going to require a high level of specialization. You're going to want to make sure if you don't already have your certified travel professional, the gold standard of certifications through Careers on Vacation, we can help you with that at Wanderlust Campus. You can visit us over at careersonvacation.com/ready now if you want to have a quick chat with our enrollments team so we can learn a little bit more about your unique vision and if it makes sense for us to work together. We'll talk to you about how you can apply for our certification programs where we will teach you everything that it takes, not just to adopt one of these niches, but also how do you actually book the stuff, whether it be through our booking academy, all of our training. We are the only company out there that, guys, gives you live in-person mentoring support, and that we're actually teaching you the business systems behind the scenes that it takes to grow a profitable travel business. And we always take your area of specialization and your niches under consideration when you work with your assigned mentor and coach within the program. That makes a world of difference for you to be able to have more success in less amount of time, because some of these niches can take years to learn. You need to get into action fast and actually start converting, especially on some of these ones that are trending. We got to get on top of that stuff to get your model really profitable really quickly. That's what we help you with over at Wanderlust Campus. I'll link everything down below for you guys. And also feel free to visit us over at travelschool.com. You can find all of our information over there about all of our programs and everything we do to serve the industry from an educational perspective. But guys, I hope this helped you today. And listen, I'll be back next week with another amazing topic. I wish you so much love, so much abundance. I wish you the world. Last video, I want to encourage you to check out the other content we have here on the channel. We have amazing content at every level, no matter where you are in your travel industry journey, from aspiring to new to growing. Even our travel agency owners, look for those playlists and you can find some amazing content that's really catered just to you. And by the way, if you haven't signed up for your Wanderlust Campus free account, make sure you do that too. And you know what? I'm going to pick some videos and put them for you right here. Check those out. I'll see you next time.